Welcome, everyone, and welcome our online community. It's our pleasure for the last several years to have our annual meeting to tell folks about what we're doing at the Milk Bank of Tennessee in conjunction with the meeting here with TIPQC. They have been so gracious to help us get a room and provide that for us, and we just are so grateful. I want to express our thanks to our amazing board of directors. Pat Steimer has taken the role of being the president of our board and has just been doing a fantastic job. Tom Scott has been our acting vice president and treasurer this past year. Jason Parker was one of my colleagues at St. Thomas Rutherford for several years and was instrumental in getting our depot started there. Unfortunately, and he and his wife are, well, not unfortunately for them, that this meeting happened to hit them at spring break. So they're off enjoying their two daughters. And then Amy Campbell Pitts is a lawyer who has joined us and has just done an amazing job on our board. You all know the milkman, my husband, who's been on the board as well. And then Katie is our latest addition to the board. And where did you join us tonight? I'm sorry. Oh, there you are. And then finally, Mark Moore is a pharmacist in the Murfreesboro area. So we are so grateful for these folks. And if you would just join me in a round of applause for them. Okay, our regional directors, if you would stand if you're in the room, please. Helen Scott was also a co-founder. Pat Steimer from East Tennessee. Christy Phillips from Southeast Tennessee. And then April Morrison for Northeast Tennessee. April was not able to be here. And then, of course, I wear one of my gazillion hats is the regional director of Middle Tennessee. So thank you, ladies. Next, our medical advisory board. We're very grateful to have Dr. Sammy Ismail as the neonatologist on that board. Marguerite Johnston was here earlier today, but I didn't believe she could stay for this evening. And then Jane Kershaw is our lactation resource for the medical advisory board. And Dr. Valerie Parker is the other half of Jason Parker, so she's with the two children on spring break. And then finally, Phil Phillips is our microbiology supporter, and we really appreciate our medical advisory team as well. So thank you. Now, we want to look at 2023 in review. That's usually what we do at this meeting is we look at the previous year to see where we are. We just celebrated our second birthday in November of this past 2023. And some of the advances that we've had, we have just an amazing, remarkable team. And so you'll get to meet them a little bit later in this presentation. But our marketing director, Amy Painter, is responsible for starting the Leadership Society. And we thank you if you're a member of that society, and she'll probably tell you a little bit more about that. She was able to recruit 70 financial donors in the last year, which has really been helpful for us. Thank you, Amy. We've had a 33% increase in the number of ordering hospitals in 2023. We were really excited to be able to add UT Knoxville to the folks that we send milk to. So we're located in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, but that allows us to be able to ship milk out all over the state to the NICUs. So where I used to only be able to take care of babies in Middle Tennessee, I now feel tremendously blessed that the work that we're doing at the Milk Bank allows me to help babies all over Tennessee. So thank you for that opportunity. In 2023, we were finally able to get a milk analyzer, a Mirus analyzer, so we were able to measure the calories in our milk, and a lot of our recipient hospitals wanted higher calorie milks for their babies. So that was a really exciting addition to what we were capable of doing. We increased the number of ounces collected by 30% in 2023. And our in-house testing just started right at the end of the year with the microbiology graduate student from MTSU. So we are very thankful and grateful for our relationship with MTSU. So far, they've provided us 2 microbiologists. Our second pasteurization tech was doing his master's degree, and Logan Campbell was a tremendous support for our milk bank as we were getting going. Thank you. So for the impact for 2023, we had some approved donors. We had 307 approved milk donors. We had a 20% increase in the total dispensation of milk over what we had done in 2022. And remember, we started in November of 21. So we've really had kind of a meteoric rise. Now, we've been bugging everybody since 2014 that we wanted to have a milk bank, but we weren't able to actually do that. It took us 7 years to do that. So it's kind of good that we're having this big rise. We now serve 16 hospitals in the state of Tennessee, and we recently added one in Kentucky. And calculating all that up, we've decided it's about almost 250,000 feedings that we've dispensed. So we really feel like we're helping babies in Tennessee. I'd now like to introduce Angela Plunkett. You know, the way these ladies got to us is just amazing. Angela actually started out delivering milk to the milk bank in Austin, Texas, because she lived in Fort Worth or Dallas, and she would take the milk down there for her baby, but she also took it for other ladies. And she got very interested in milk banking, and the next thing we knew, her husband got transferred here. Initially, I think they were in Memphis for a while, but then they ended up coming to live in Eagleville, which is not very far from Murfreesboro. Angela, at this meeting one year, came up to me and said, I'm interested in helping. How can I help the Milk Bank of Tennessee? She started out as a volunteer, and she had put together our entire donor program. So she came up with the questionnaires for the mothers. She came up with all of the rules and regulations that she checked from Himbana to make sure that we were in compliance with our mother organization, the Human Milk Banking Association of North America. And single-handedly, she really got our donor program started. So I'm going to let her come up and introduce her team, because she has an amazing group of ladies that have helped us tremendously. Without mother's donor milk coming in, we would have nothing pasteurized, and we wouldn't be able to help those babies back in those NICUs. So I don't know where she went. I tell you, I think, okay, I know I need to get my hearing checked, but now I think I'm going to have to get my eyes checked too.
Thank you for that introduction. So this is our screening team, and we have grown from me to a whole team, and so that is awesome. So Beverly is one of our screeners here that is joining us, and she's helping run the IT stuff there along with her husband. And so Beverly came to the Milk Bank as a volunteer, and once she learned the ropes and showed what a great asset she is, we were able to bring her on part-time. And you will notice this is an ongoing theme that we all started out as volunteers. And so then recently we've brought her on full-time too. And so she has been with Milk Bank for a little over 2 years. And she is also our lead, team lead for our screeners. So if any of the other screeners have questions, they go to Beverly first before they come to me. So it's nice that we've been able to grow, and that's how come we are able to do some of the other improvements that we are going to be talking about later tonight. And so I would say in general, we couldn't survive without Beverly some weeks. And so we're very happy to have her. And I just did want to read a quote that one of her team members said about her. that Beverly gives 110% to the milk bank. There's nothing she can't do, and everything she does, she's excellent at. It's evident how passionate she is for the milk bank and our milk donors. So we're very thankful to have Beverly. Another one of our volunteers, Bree, we call her Bree, and she wasn't able to be with us tonight, but she came on as a volunteer also. And she is a nurse and works in the NICU at Erlanger, so which is one of our hospitals that we deliver milk to. She just said, hey, I know we use your milk and I'm interested in helping. And so took her on, and Beverly and I helped train her. And now she is one of, because she has her RN, she can help me do my job. So that means I get to take a break every now and then, and we don't have to miss a beat on our team getting all the moms screened. So we appreciate that. And I would say that she is, like Beverly, just delightful and easy to work with. And her team said of her that she demonstrates excellence in every task she undertakes. She's always willing to help and is a dedicated member of our screening team. So we also have TT, which is one of our donor screeners. She's a little bit on a hiatus at the moment, but she was actually one of our donor moms. And so she was super interested in breastfeeding her own child, and then watching what we had done at the milk bank, and then had some time in her schedule that she could help screen moms. So she brings the mom version of it as opposed to the medical version of it. Then we also have Ellen Thornberry, who helps us with screening, with approving if we need it, because she has her RN, but her main asset to our team is that she speaks fluent Spanish. So, and writes Spanish. So she has done a lot of the translations of our forms. For Spanish would be our main second language that we would get moms that speak. And so one of Havana's thing is that we have to be able to meet the needs of all moms in the community. So she helps us with that. So just to go over a little bit about what the screening process is, on our website that Amy has created for us, we have a pre-screening form that asks the moms some questions so that they kind of know what are the requirements before they ever sign up. Before we had that, we had moms, want to be interviewed, and then we would spend our time and then find out like they were still pregnant, or they were taking a bunch of medications that we could have pre-screened for. So that helps us with that. There is an area on there for them to reach out and ask questions about drug medications they might be on. But it also says, do you have the minimum of 100 ounces? So that if not, come back and fill this out when you do. Then at the end of that screening form, they can schedule themselves for a phone interview. Beforehand, we were having to do all that manually. So that was nice that we could do that. And that's where Beverly would come in. Then Beverly and the other screeners would do the phone interview. It takes, we'd like to say 10 to 15 minutes. I'm guessing it's more like 20 minutes because we tend to get a little chatty, because part of ours is we're also building a relationship with these moms, because there's a lot of other places they could donate their milk to. And we want to paint a picture as to why we are their best option. And we go over the application, fill out part of it, and then we send it to them to fill out the rest. We do have to get the OB's consent. Pretty much the mom is healthy. And any medications he's prescribed, because sometimes the mom, she's got a newborn, maybe a toddler, she forgets all the medication. She forgets that she might have been on right after delivery. So it's kind of a good second check. The milk bank does pay for a blood test, which just tests for certain diseases that we would like to be aware of. And then I look over everything all put together. I really play detective work as to, is this mom okay? Is it some of the milk? Well, if she was on a antibiotic for this certain week, which antibiotic was it? What dates was she on it? Okay, yes, we can take her milk, but not from this week or these certain dates. And then there's kind of what we alluded to earlier about our increase of the amount of ounces of milk that were donated. And so just to give you a picture, like we do get just the minimum of 100 ounces, but we get thousands of ounces from some of these moms over the course of the time that they donate.
Tracy is our state depot director. So any questions about depots, she's your go-to person. And she opened the very first depot that we opened for Mother's Milk Bank of Tennessee in March of 2016. So that's how long we've been working on all this. And now by the end of 2019, we had a dozen depots. And I think this next year we may get close to almost doubling that. So that would be amazing.
Yes. We want to be able to share our awards for our best depots and the ones who have been able to bring in the most amount of milk so far this year. So we are pretty excited. So Children's Hospital at Erlanger has brought in 27,044 ounces just on their own, which is pretty amazing. Number 2 is Ascension St. Thomas Midtown. Their breastfeeding outreach clinic collected 31,311. So those are their lucky numbers. Number 1, which is a little surprising because I would say they're probably our smallest.
The smallest freezer.
Depot of all of the ones. So Schultz Pediatrics in Knoxville. Yes. They collected 34,584 ounces. So
it's really great to see all these moms come together and want to give back. And from having NICU babies, just seeing the impact that this has. So thank you for all the work that you guys do.
Thank you. So we have a special guest with us here tonight. So this is Julie Smith. It's my honor to introduce her. So Julie, daughter Ella May, who is with us tonight, received donor milk and the NICU at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford, which is just down the street from the milk bank, when she was born last May. Yes. And so then Julie became a donor so that she could give some milk back to babies like Ella May. So Julie and her family live in Lebanon, and her husband Dalton and her daughter Ella May that is here with us. Plus they have a dog. And how do you pronounce your dog's name? Koa. Okay. And so she currently works for the Tennessee Department of Intellectual and Developmental Disabilities. So thank you for being here with us.
She said, my name is Julie. I got little Ella over there. She's going to be talking probably this whole time. But thank you for welcoming us tonight and giving us the opportunity to share kind of what our experience has been with the milk bank. When Ella was born via C-section, they took her off to the NICU. And once I came to, they asked how we'd like her to be fed in the meantime until my supply came in. And the nurse said, well, we've got donor milk or we've got formula. And I think before she could even finish her sentence, I said, that's an option, like donor milk, knowing that my baby girl is going to be getting all the nutrients she needs in that time until I'd be able to produce. And then every 3 hours from there, my husband will tell you, we were pumping, hoping to be able to produce. And we went from filling up the little syringes with a few drops to then the little vials to then the little jugs. And we started filling up the freezer in the NICU. And right before they finally discharged her, Dr. Parker approached me with the little 4x4 flyer. And he said, hey, if you keep producing like this, if you're able to supply enough for your daughter, you should really consider, what the milk bank does and donating to them. And we went back to our hospital room and we said, we'll have to think about that. And we went home and we kept pumping. And we filled up our freezer, and then we filled up our mini deep freezer. And by the time that she turned a month old, we were ready to donate our first 300 ounces. And we were incredibly blessed during that time to receive that milk and to know that she was just receiving exactly what her little body needed during that time. And once I was able to produce, like I said, for her and then additional, I knew that I wanted to continue to donate and bless other families in the same way that we had been blessed. And every opportunity I take, every opportunity I have, I take to share my experience, especially with moms who I know have a sufficient supply as well, sharing what a blessing it can be, because it was a blessing to us. We want to turn around and be able to bless others. So yeah, thank you for having us tonight. We're excited to be here and just share what a blessing it is. And you can see firsthand my little baby girl. Yeah, thank you.
And now you get to hear from our very first lab technician who, since September of 2021, has been promoted up the line and is now our operations director, Christina Vargo, and she will introduce her pasteurization team.
Our team here, we've got Ashley Jones as our lab supervisor. She actually started as a lab tech when I was the lab supervisor. Brandy Stone couldn't be here tonight. She is one of our lab technicians. She's our other full-time lab technician. And then we have 2 part-time lab technicians that joined us last year, Melody Chapman and Emma Plunkett. And you'll notice Emma is actually Angela's daughter. So it's for a family affair at Mother's Milk Bank of Tennessee. We've had some wonderful new equipment come our way last year. Save the Children donated freezers for us. This allows us to be able to pasteurize more milk. We're able to quarantine the milk until we're able to safely dispense it to the NICUs throughout Tennessee once we have the micro results back. Our really wonderful new piece of equipment is the Mirus Analyzer that was donated by the Christy Houston Foundation. This allows us to analyze every batch of milk that the girls run in the lab. We're able to get the calorie information, the protein information, the fat content. This helps when we are providing milk to the NICUs. They're able to let us know what calorie information that they are wanting to purchase and letting them know what we've got in stock. We're also able to analyze individual moms prior to pooling milk so that we can try to target pool and get higher calorie milk. And this is my son, Rhett. If you ever, if you happen to stop by the milk bank ever, probably hear from, he turns a year in July. He'll be going off to daycare at that time, but he is our little buddy at the milk bank. He does not take a bottle. So he tags along with me every day at work. We've been fortunate enough, because he won't take a bottle, that I've been able to donate some of my milk to also help Tennessee NICU babies. Yeah. And next, I'll introduce our wonderful marketing director, Amy Painter, who is phenomenal at her job.
Except when technology fails me, but that's okay. I wanted to let everyone know that we have some new marketing materials. What I've put out tonight is for you to take home, take back to your clinics, take back to your places of business. We want to get out the word as much as possible. And I do hope that everyone leaves here tonight with a copy of our annual report. We're so excited to share more in details the impact of 2023. So there are many ways you can support our organization going forward. Not everyone, we understand, can give milk like Julie did, but everyone is able to contribute in some way. So I just wanted to encourage everyone as they're here tonight to think about how you can help little babies like Ella May in the NICU, whether that's through giving monthly or becoming a leadership donor, shopping our online store, or even just registering your Kroger Plus card. Just simple ways to give back is so meaningful to our organization as a nonprofit. You know, we always need volunteers, we need fundraisers, we need advocates, we need help spreading the word. And that's easy to do. You can just share our social media posts, share our newsletter, always distribute materials, like I said. So we appreciate every single one of you in this room and the way that you contribute to our mission, and just wanted to share those opportunities with you. Last year at this very meeting, we launched what was the Leadership Society. And it was something that I kind of just had a vision for, but didn't really know what kind of response that we would have. And I'm so proud to say that we secured over 70 members last year. So these are members that have said, I'm going to make an annual contribution of $100 or more to Mother's Milk Bank of Tennessee as a lifetime gift. So if you're a member of the Leadership Society, I would ask that you please stand at this moment and want to recognize you. So while we give the honor of the ones that donated last year as founding members, this is an ongoing society. There's an ongoing opportunity to give. So if you're able, I would encourage you to do so. Less than $9 a month qualifies you. And so it's just really laying the groundwork for us to be able to be sustainable, to continue to grow, and help babies in need. I also wanted to recognize our corporate supporters and foundations. So we've had support this past year from the Christy Houston Foundation, as we previously mentioned, McKee, which you may know their products are Little Debbie's, Save the Children, Patterson's Home Appliances, Mechanical Systems Company, Network for Good, Kroger Community Rewards, the Blackman Community Club, St. Elizabeth's Episcopal Church, and Emerald Property. So you can give all these organizations a round of applause. So at this time, I would like to introduce Pat Steimer. She is our chairman of our board and also a regional director, and she wears many hats, but she has some special recognition tonight.
This is our second big meeting, as you've seen all of our growth and changes. And so at this time, we decided that it's time to recognize a lot as we introduce people to you that have been purposeful in being here for us. So we actually have a recognition tonight as our Volunteer of the Year. Been very key in being able to be with us actually before me, and a very close advocate, ally, ask them for anything, giving our checkbook and our numbers and whatever. Tom Scott, will you come forward?
Okay, and I believe Miss Pat has one more, or a few more surprises.
I love a party. Thank you for joining us. And as the evening goes on, we've joined, for those of you at home, we have the largest meeting that we've ever had for this. And I appreciate you coming from near and far to join us tonight. It is a special night for me. I am taking the opportunity to acknowledge the reason that we celebrate another annual meeting of this Mother's Milk Bank of Tennessee. Do you have Kleenex for me too? Okay. Human milk, as the majority of you in this interest area know, is the most important source of nutrition for human babies and has been made available by generous and caring mothers throughout the world for this purpose. Whether mother to child or through an established facility to pasteurize it for further availability to others. In 2012, Brister and Helen Scott, there, actually attended a Humbana, a Human Milk Banking Association North America conference. They wanted to learn more about milk banks. They were invited to share their knowledge with an exploratory committee when they returned, led by Dr. Danredy. He was a neonatologist with Le Bonheur Children's Hospital and Regional One Healthcare. Well, that group didn't really progress in this initiative. You know how things are dreamed and you get a few people at the meeting and then postpone. But Brewster and Helen were driven to apply for a 501c3 in 2014, 10 years ago, in order to keep this planned for future consideration. Before the year ended, the desire of Bruce and Dr. Susan Campbell to apply for a similar organization led to the meeting of these two couples when they went to apply for a 501c3, and they said, no, somebody's already done that. So these two couples met. You may say it was the first drop in the bucket to an ongoing effort to establish this entity and their long-lasting friendship. So the two couples are our founders, and we want to take tonight. It's my honor on behalf of the executive board to recognize and honor the 4 founders of this organization tonight. There you go. We're just going to take out the system. That I said, if anything else, we need new pictures of these 4 this year. So thank you very much. That drop was an early logo initiative. Many of you were quite aware of the drop that Bruce so fondly calls Squirt as our first logo attempt to identify our organization.
Pat wouldn't let me. She said, over my dead body.
But his reference to that has really superseded. That cute little drop shows up in our history all over the place. I still have a stack of calling cards with Squirt on it. This drop was actually symbolic of the gift of mothers and pasteurized breast milk that would eventually bring to many families with their medically fragile babies throughout the state of Tennessee. Breast milk contains macronutrients that are bioactive in complementing the growth of vasculature, nervous, and endocrine systems. Its components continue to be studied to apply to other health concerns throughout the world. So the awards that I would like to present tonight were chosen as a symbol of that drop. Okay. It contains elements of color to remind the recipient that their efforts have not gone unnoticed. The elements of recognition, awareness of a need that could improve the outcomes of the babies these women worked to help. Action, supported by their loved ones, initiated the establishment of their desired plan. Faith that by prayer and continuous discussion with friends, family, and anyone that actually would listen, that this would eventually be a reality. Heart to continue, all enabling the establishment of Mother's Milk Bank of Tennessee, with this facility open for production and distribution in 2021. Now, 10 years later, I would like to, at this time, offer you a token of a very special thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming. And now we want to celebrate. So please help yourself to cupcakes and wine and just mingle with us, if you will. So thank you so much again to you who are online tonight. We appreciate you.